Hey guys, first and foremost, I think it needs to be go without said kudos to Nicholls State for everything they've had to endure just to be able to play this game. So again, our thoughts and prayers continue to be with all those affected by the hurricane. And, man, they deserve all the credit in the world, for what they had to do to travel up here early to get here, to go out there and give us a heck of a ball game. So Coach Rebo, his staff, all those people, just look, our hearts are out to their young men, and they gave us a heck of a battle. Couple other things of note. That's a tough team, and I know they're going to win a lot of games on the road. They're going to stay in Memphis. We're going to do everything we can to help them out throughout this week as well. So that's important to me. And just so I don't forget, congratulations to Katie Salem, the women's field hockey coach. That's our first one as a head coach at Rhodes College. That's our recruiting coordinator's wife. I didn't want to forget that. Good luck to Mike Norvell and staff tomorrow night and their home opener as well. But look, when it's all said and done, are pleased with our effort. A lot to clean up. Let's make no bones about it. You can say FCS opponent, all that, but if we look at the scores throughout the country, there's a lot of FCS opponents out there taking it to Division I teams. So, look, pleased with the final result, but we know offense, defense, and special teams, and certain things we got to take care of.
Terry and then Devin.
Hey, first of all, congratulations on the win, Coach. That's 16 in a row, if I'm not mistaken. What areas of concern you the most? Are you pleased with how your offensive line produced throughout the game, or what area really concerned you going forward?
Yeah, look, I was pleased with the offensive line. I think we ran the ball more effectively. A great job. One of the things that it's not going to go recognized, Calvin Alston's run blocking was as improved as anything I've seen in a player's game. And told you guys Brandon Thomas was a full load. I thought the offensive line, you guys noticed that there, sometimes we had three different other people than the starters. We had an 8-man rotation offensive line. That makes me feel good. Again, you guys will say, was that something you want to do the rest of the season? It makes me feel more comfortable having players that are able to play at a high level. But I was pleased. I don't think they, I haven't looked at the stats completely. I don't think they gave up any sacks. We were able to play with a little bit of tempo and run the ball the way we needed to. A lot of things to clean up, like I said. All in all, the assessment of the O-line, pleased the things we need to work on. We got to start faster, and our defense knows that, right? The first drive of both halves, right? The first opening drive and then the first drive of the second half, I believe, weren't to our standards. We need to get more turnovers. I was pleased that offensively we were able to own the football without any turnovers. But, we got to do better in the red zone. Good job for Joe Doyle, but man, I told him I wish he was just kicking extra points. I was tired of hearing his name all night.
Devin and then Isaac.
Coach, first of all, congrats on the win.
Thanks,
second of all, we saw Seth out there in his first start, and we saw Brady White in the coaches polo. What is his role of the team? How do you think his expertise is going to help with the young guy?
Great. Like I said, think about this guy. Seth Hennigan is the first true freshman to start a season opener in the program history. So let me say that again. Seth Hennigan is the first true freshman to start a season opener in program history. So a lot of credit, though. I mean, that's think about it. I don't even know if Seth shaved yet. So I'm really glad for him and his performance, and he did a fantastic job. And then Brady White is, he's in town. He's still training, I'm hoping more than anything he gets a call to go to the league. I'll be the first one to kick him out the door. But, he loves football. He loves his team. We saw that Colorado player file a waiver for, another year, right? So who knows what Brady's doing. But no, just pleased to have him around, his expertise, and just to be around. He's still training. He's going to have a shot, hopefully, in the NFL here any day. But just glad to have him back.
Isaac and then Evan.
Hey, Coach. First and foremost, congratulations on the win tonight.
Thanks, Isaac.
Javon Ivory, man, with 106 yards on 5 catches tonight, kind of moving up into that wide receiver 2 mode. Kind of talk about his play. I mean, he was fired up out there tonight, man, playing with some passion. Talk about his game tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Javon plays a big game for a big receiver and with passion, which you love. We looked at what we had last year, our receiver corps, and really Javon came on towards the end of last year. If you guys think about the bowl game, that's kind of people like, oh, okay, this young man. And he put on a show tonight, made some good back shoulder catches, big, strong wide receiver. So pleased with him. He's one of those young guys that I thought would emerge as one of our threats, right? We all knew Calvin, and Calvin's going to do a great job the rest of the season, and Sean Dykes as receiving threats. But look, I'm really pleased with Javon, and I know he's going to have a great year.
Evan and then Frank.
Ryan, first off, when did you decide that Seth was going to start? And second of all, We saw that Grant was on the sidelines in shorts. What is his status as of right now?
Yeah, Evan, we want to be straightforward with you guys. We weren't sure exactly what Grant's status would be. He did get through Tuesday's practice. And then, we thought it was best to send him to a doctor. We're going to continue to evaluate, his injuries and see what it entails. So I don't have anything other than I don't foresee him, Evan, being ready in the next couple of weeks. And so it was one of those decisions, as the week went on. And again, number one thing, I'll never put one of our players out there in harm's way. And so with that being said, it was clear later in the week that Seth had to be the guy. And, like I've told you guys and you guys have seen and reported, Seth got plenty of reps with the first team. The team has rallied behind him, and we were pleased with his effort out there today.
On that note with Seth, just kind of, what impressed you the most? Because obviously his poise was very sharp out there for a young man, but just were you impressed with just kind of how he just kind of took over? Was that something you guys already saw in him just when he got to campus?
Yeah, he's one of those guys. I made mention of it, right? A young man that went 15-0 in high school, graduated high school early. He's a winner, and he's so smart. And I think, everyone says, well, how can a true freshman come in and play quarterback in this system, right? It's polar opposite of what we had last year, right? We had a super senior, super senior working on a doctoral candidate that understood and been in this offense for a long time. And now we throw in a true freshman that's brand new to everything, right? Just trying to figure out where he goes to class. But he is so intelligent. He cares. He's a coach's son. And I think all those intangibles, right? Just going out there, you guys will have the opportunity to hopefully talk to him. He is just a smooth character that gets it. He doesn't get phased and just went out there and was able to control everything.
Frank and then Mark.
Ryan, you also had a redshirt freshman have a big day in Brandon Thomas. What did you like about how your running back room did today?
Yeah, look, I'll call Brandon a true freshman. I don't think the young man even dressed for many games last year. I bet most of you all couldn't even told me what number it was if we hadn't mentioned him. He was one that, was very, very limited in his role last season. But we were able to see a lot from him. And, I was pleased the way he runs. He runs the ball hard and, with his pads going forward at all times, and he's dynamic, a good young man that I think the sky's the limit for. Yeah, I told you guys, a couple of weeks ago, I didn't want to be a running back by rotation or, constantly changing who's our starter. So I think we know who our starter is. But, man, really pleased, right? You got to be pleased with the way Rodriguez-Clark ran the ball, Asa Martin, Marcavius Weaver, Cam Fleming was in there. We got a lot of different guys, a lot of those familiar faces to you guys in the backfield. And so just pleased. And like I said, I can't go without saying again, I really was pleased by the way Calvin Austin, if you talk about a player that increased something, I mean, to be able to put that on film, what he was able to do, I was just so proud of him.
And I know the running game was a point of emphasis for you guys leading into the season. What does that do confidence-wise for you guys to be able to have a running game that you did today?
Well, we know how the running game works, right? It all depends on what you're given week in and week out. If they give us two high safeties, but if you guys notice, right, really halfway through the second quarter, even after the second play, they started blitzing the heck out of us. I think when they saw Seth back there, they said, hey, let's light up this young man and put him in adverse situations. So our running backs did a nice job of missing guys. But yeah, I think it does give you some confidence. We feel comfortable with those guys in the backfield. Stuff to build on. I think, like I mentioned to Terry earlier, being able to have 8 linemen get significant snaps, I think that's huge. We haven't been able to do that since I've been here. And I think the run game moving forward, like you said, we're going to hang our hat on it. And but we also know we got great receiving weapons as well.
Mark and then Terry.
Hey, Ryan. I'm curious, in this quarterback process, when in the process did you guys realize this guy isn't just, a good guy, a good freshman coming in, but this is a guy we could have as our starting quarterback? And then also, I guess, what was that feeling like? Because obviously he'd done a lot in practice, but he had never done it in a game. As he's running out onto the field for the first time, what are you thinking with a true freshman quarterback?
Yeah, so I'll circle back to a question on media day on Monday, and I mentioned that I wasn't having a lot of sleepless nights. I wasn't losing sleep over it. I don't know if I think I lost a lot of sleep, and I will continue the rest of the season, true freshman or not. I know Evan had asked that question, but look, he does elude great confidence, and I think we saw, during spring ball, we saw growth in steps. And I'm telling you, like, just like with any player, it doesn't happen overnight. And hopefully tonight wasn't the cream of the crop for what he is, right? And we hope that week and week and week he can continue to build in every phase of our team, right? But as a true freshman quarterback, I think the more playing time he gets, greater moxie we'll see on the field, greater understanding, command of the offense. I think all those things will come into play. But just, I think we saw it in the way he handled himself. The kid lived up, this offseason, just continues to stay plays. I think he has a whiteboard at his home where he goes over plays. Dude loves football. And I think those things are hard to take away. And, and really, he's done a fantastic job, and just so pleased with him. And, as the summer progressed and then training camp, right? Some guys do this in training camp and other guys continue just steady, just chop away at it. And that was a young man that was just pleased with, he constantly got better.
What
got time for 3 more questions. Terry, Isaac, and Clayton.
Did you tell him?
Okay. Hey, Coach, other than the first drive, what's your evaluation of the defensive effort other than the first drive of the game?
Yeah, I thought the effort was there. Like I said, there's some things we got to clean up, but you want to talk about, we faced credit to Nicholls State. I mean, Lindsey Scott Jr. is a fantastic quarterback. There's a reason why he was on LSU's roster at one time in the Gatorade National Player of the Year. He's dynamic, and you saw we had some clean shots on him in the backfield, and he was able to get out of those things. A dynamic runner and just a true athlete and a playmaker back there. And look, they got NFL wide receivers, they got an All-American guard, and a running back that's their all-time leading rusher. So they've got a lot of good offensive weapons, and I would compare them to some of the teams that will play this year. But we've got to do a better job. We know there's things to clean up our assignments, and that's part of the first game, right? Just getting it so used to, you can call it in practice, you can do all those things. There's nothing like the live bullets. And but all in all, please, we got to, I'd love to get some takeaways earlier in the game, but that's just part of it.
Isaac, then Clayton.
Man, big night for Joe Doyle. I know you mentioned earlier you would much rather have seen him kicking extra points instead of field goals, but I know he was a punter at Tennessee. Has he ever been a kicker in high school or anywhere else that you know of?
I think he may have kicked some in high school, just like all those specialists, right? Sometimes just have, hey, you're the specialist, go kick the ball. But it was one of those, like I've told you guys, David Kemp's dealing with an injury. He was the freshman kicker we signed. We've got some other, Caleb Hawkins. You guys all know Grant did a nice job on kickoffs this night. But, Joe was one of those. I just said it about 3 weeks ago. I said, hey, can you kick? He goes, I haven't done it in 4 years. I said, here we go. Get your butt over there and let's try it. And pretty automatic tonight. I'm going to knock on wood, that we don't have to rely on him other than for extra points. But it just really, a young man like that that's mature, that did exactly when his number was called, went out there and performed at a high level.
Last one for Clayton.
Hey, Ryan, just to be abundantly clear, so is Seth Hennigan the game plan for week 2 at Arkansas State?
Yes, sir. I think that's a plan, right? Obviously, I want to make sure Seth's healthy and well, but yeah, that's a plan moving forward.
All right. Thank you, Coach Silverfield.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night. Go Tigers.